Welcome to The Real Generation Gap. I'm Rudy Ruiz.
I'm Fred Satilli.
And today we're going to discuss William Friedkin's, what I would call a masterpiece, Sorcerer from 1977.
In 1971, William Friedkin directed The French Connection. It received 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year. In 1974, he directed The Exorcist. It made history. Since then, Friedkin has spent over 2 years in 5 countries on 3 continents, creating his latest film, an unusual adventure into the realm of suspense.
So Sorcerer follows 4 kind of criminals from different parts of the world that all seem to be hiding out in this South American, Central American country, and they get an opportunity to make a lot of money on basically a suicide mission, driving a truck filled with nitroglycerin, a very unstable, if you don't know, explosive. That's the key ingredient to dynamite. And I actually had just watched this movie for the first time a couple weeks ago. I've heard so many whispers of it over the years, and I knew it was kind of a cult film, William Friedkin, but I never bothered to see it because I guess I was like, oh, man, I guess it's sorcery. It's like a fantasy movie or something. Had no clue.
Right.
And finally, Criterion released it on Blu-ray and 4K recently within the last few months, and another friend I followed talked about it. So I was like, let me buy it, give it a watch. We'll take a leap of faith. And it is such a great movie. I'm so glad I saw it.
It was worth every penny, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So much so that I immediately went and bought the 1952 movie Wages of Fear. So Sorcerer is actually an adaptation of a book called Wages of Fear, which was made into it was a French film in the 50s. So I haven't watched that one yet, but I was like, I'm getting this Blu-ray too, and eventually I'll compare them. But let's not do spoilers on this one.
No, definitely.
Yeah, no spoilers on this one. Yeah. So this will be a spoiler-free review, everybody. But I have to ask, because I know when this came out, and William Friedkin was hot off of French Connection, Exorcist, like 2 bangers.
Yeah, right.
He's at a point, and this is the 70s, where it's like you had arguably filmmaking may have been at its best, and he's clearly in a point where he could probably do no wrong. He's going in thinking he's going to make a movie for not that much money. It balloons the budget by millions and millions of dollars, so much so that Universal and Paramount had to come together and kind of joint produce it or co-produce it in some way. And I know that it failed at the box office. I think Star Wars came out around the same time, and people didn't quite know what they were getting into. I don't know all the details on that.
Yeah,
but
the name is misleading.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. When you recommended it, I said, this is one of Rudy's, like a cult thing or something like that. It's the name of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a misleading title. You have you know what? I was thinking about that, what the title should be or what this could be. Mm-hmm. And what came to me is, do you know the Rolling Stones song, Undercover of the Night? Well, you got to listen to that song, and all of you have to listen to that song, because that is this. Central America is a weird, scary, and all the way down into Colombia, probably, deep into the Amazon there, and those jungles, the weird gangs in the jungles. There's cultures and civilizations, not indigenous civilizations, like modern, militias that are in there just keeping track of, drug stuff or whatever. It's just a weird, scary place full of dysentery, and I don't know where they get all their weapons and stuff, but this really shows a part of the world that we here never even think about ever. Yeah. And as you said in the introduction, these are 4 different, in the beginning of the movie, they show each person's transgression and why they got to flee France and Germany, right? They got to get out. They did something and it's not going to go well. And they go to this, it's like the Nazis going to Argentina, they have to go to this weird hellhole and hide out. And the one guy even says, nobody even wants to look for people there. Mm-hmm. Like, if you go there, you're not safe there, but you're safe from us. Mm-hmm. And so they end up there, and they sort of they don't recognize each other, but they recognize that they are in the same circumstances. And they got to pull these crazy jobs and, do this. They're real fish out of water. and it's so heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Prison Break movie that's heavier. There's no the amount of tension, the amount of, first of all, Friedkin outdoes himself. I'm a huge Exorcist fan, and everybody loves the French Connection, Popeye Doyle, the French Connection, But this is a cinematic masterpiece. The realism, it's beyond Hitchcock. It's in a really very high up, not in a class by itself, but it's top echelon work in that regard.
Yeah.
It's Spielberg has done stuff with this kind of realism, but this was like surreal realism.
Yeah.
The coloration of the scenes, like nothing is the natural color. Everything is color enhanced. And and all the scenes in the rain, I don't know how you shoot that stuff in the rain like that, but
yeah, it is some, I walked away from, well, not even after the movie, but watching it, I'm just like, man, what pure filmmaking and filmmakers they were at this point. And I think it's a good moment to point out that there's not a lot of dialogue in this movie. I wouldn't go as far as to say it plays out like a silent film by any means, but not a lot of dialogue. It is very much visual. You're just figuring things out by seeing it, and mind you, all these guys are in this country and they're all from different places, so it's not like everyone
they're not friends.
Has all the same language and everything.
It's not the usual suspects. Like they don't know each other.
And besides Roy Scheider and the French guy having a conversation at one point, like they don't all really come together until they're the ones that get chosen to do the job. And I like that there's a moment where there's a crowd of people that are willing to take on this suicide mission, and they make it clear, like you're a good chance you're not going to make it. You got to go 200 miles transporting like through the jungle. Like this isn't just going down the street. This is through the jungle, 200 miles, crazy terrain. Carrying highly unstable, explosive,
overgrown dirt roads and mountain cliffs.
Yep.
They're driving, a 2.5 ton truck, and the like one of the tires is off the cliff. Like the inside tire is all it's. Oh
right.
man, and this scene, of course, when they're going over these bridges, that are foot bridges, and they're taking these heavy trucks with something that can't be jiggled.
Yeah.
Every minute, the fact that the nitroglycerin may become unstable and explode.
And I love that they'll show a shot like inside the back of the truck where they'll just like slide over a little bit. And you're like, it's a pretty gnarly movie, and I felt the beginning was a little slow, but I still appreciate it. Like it really takes its time to get to kind of the big set piece, which is them going on their journey. And one thing I was going to say was I like that there's a crowd of people that are willing to do the suicide mission. And that most, if not all of them, are probably similar to our four main characters, where this is a place where everyone's running from something. And that's what they're willing to do. So I like that.
The whole country's in trouble.
I like that too. It adds just like a little more depth and just mystery to this place and everything. And I think starting with the vignettes in the beginning, like you had mentioned, of why each of these characters, like their life before, kind of, and what led them to going over there, I thought was a really interesting way to kind of introduce us to our key players.
Yeah, my favorite scene of that is there's a very rich, well-dressed guy. He's in a fabulous restaurant eating incredible food, right? And somebody speaks to him. He says, "Excuse me, I have to go sign something outside." And he goes out, and the guy who talks to him shoots himself in the Porsche. And then he looks around and he just runs on foot.
Yeah.
He runs like it's that, like he goes from the pinnacle of wealth to desperate. Like that. So when you say the lead up, all that stuff was important.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man, oh man. And just incredible location. I don't even, how do you get permits for that? You know what I mean? Like that was not a back set. That was done on location in a jungle somewhere, in lots of jungles.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had read that, they built this bridge in one location, and then when they went to shoot it, I guess the river, like the water had died down. It was gone.
Oh, okay.
So they had to go and like rebuild it in some other country.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
so some other place rebuild it. The water was still kind of low. So I guess they had to recreate a lot of the river, like have tanks of water and all that stuff. And it looks so convincing because as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, clearly this is some set design and this is made, but it feels and looks so real. And just again, like there's no denying like the fact, like you said, on location, like, yeah, they are out in these places. And that's what I love about that old school filmmaking. And the purity of it is like, yeah, we're gonna get the crew together.
there's
we're gonna
no
carry
CGI
this
here.
big camera, yeah, and we're out there, yeah, no CGI. Like
Just
we're
feeding the
living
crew
it.
must have been a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know, like
And I had read that they went through a lot of crew people because at least 50 people got sick or injured while they were out there. Apparently, William Friedkin, when they got home, like found out he had malaria.
you come home with malaria and dysentery.
Yeah, all of that, and it's. You know, people were really hardcore back then, and they gave us great movies, and it must have been such a hit for this to, you know, fail financially, especially because it went over budget. And yeah, because I think it didn't even last in theaters more than maybe a couple weeks, and they pulled it, and just no one really saw it. And thankfully, it gained a cult following over the years.
It just goes to show you how promotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because this director, he had just made The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Like to me, the quintessential most scary movie ever. Like the best, amazing. I could tell you stories, you know, for hours about my first time going to New York City and seeing that in the Subterranean Theater. I was real young, and it, you know, man, oh man, it was so scary. It was in a class by itself. And this movie's in a class by itself as well. Yeah. Just the way you see it in the picture here, the grainy. This is the grainy picture, but
Yeah.
the coloration. It's filmmaking is amazing to me. It's one of the most amazing things. It's like the way the NFL is. Those football players, like nowhere in the world can anybody do that. Jump up on your tippy toes, catch a ball on the tips of your fingers, get hit by a 200-pound guy, slammed on the ground, and get up and go, yeah.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing here. The amount of expertise, and this is not like now. This is no computer enhancement or something. This is all really real. And I know that the coloration was. I don't know how they did it, but the techniques that they must have used. It's just staggering.
Yeah.
It's a amazing movie. It's a great story. It's super high tension.
Yeah.
I mean, you're chewing your nails right off your hands. You know.
Yeah.
You can't believe it. And some of those scenes where the guy in the picture here, he's guiding the truck across.
He's about to fall through.
He falls right through the rotted wood. I mean,
where there's such a great little cliffhanger at the end of that sequence too.
Oh yeah,
where you're not sure what happened.
The last thing they're going to make it, they're winching the truck up.
Yeah, you're seeing everything kind of start to go wrong, and
oh, that's when the rope is unwinding and everything's
the tree is starting to bow and all that. The tension even starts with as soon as they find out, you know, when they're putting the truck together, which I do like that scene, that montage of them kind of putting it together, and that's where you see like, oh, Sorcerer is the name of the truck, and that's really the only time you see it. And that shot though, when it's silhouetted and I think it's raining, and then they start and the lights just click on.
They're actually testing bulbs. They're trying to put bulbs up, you know, so that they can see. But yeah, not only do they have to do this incredible voyage, but they're doing it with the junkiest equipment.
Yeah.
Everything's all cobbled together, and oh my God, every aspect of this is a giant nightmare, right to the dynamite, unbelievable ending.
Yeah,
you know. And so this is, to me, is an absolute must watch. I'm really glad you turned me on to this movie. Yeah. I want everybody else out there. I'm telling you, there's people who've seen this movie and there's people who haven't seen this movie. And now I joined that. Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Must see for sure. 100%. There's so much more I would love to talk about, but since I'm going to guess most of you haven't seen it, we're going to let you discover it yourselves, because it's just so great.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll chat more once the camera's cut.
We say it in so many reviews. You got to see it more than once, and this one you almost need to like rate again, like immediately watch it right after you're done.
Yeah, I was telling my friends about it. I was 100% ready to watch it again, and like I said, I even went as far as to buy the original film, Wages of Fear.
Yes.
So I'm stoked to see that. I'm excited.
And then it's based on a book.
Yeah.
So there's a whole knowledge of this, but the movie stands completely on its own.
Oh, for sure. And
I will be interested to hear your review. I don't know if we'll do it, but I know you'll tell me like how that was, and that'll be really great.
All right.
So go ahead and click us on out.
Yeah, that's a wrap on this one, everybody. If you've seen this movie, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear some comments from you guys. And so let us know. Anyway, that's a wrap. Cheers.
Thanks again.